All right, guys, it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm just eating my pre-game meal before I go out. Not exactly sure what time I'm going to turn the app on. I wanted to talk real quick about something that has been kind of bothering me a little bit. I don't like to be pretentious, and I don't like to feel that I'm lying and giving unrealistic expectations of what you can do when I make these videos. So I've had a couple people comment and say, well, yeah, but you can only do this with a second person in your car, or you can only do this if you have two phones, and that's not fair, blah, blah, blah. And I recognize that what I'm doing is very difficult to replicate with one phone, but it's not difficult to replicate with one person. Like this can easily, the last few days, my wife has literally just sat in the car, like meaning that she's not the driver and finding good parking or whatever. It's just, she's just sitting in the passenger seat, just hanging out with me. The only way around having a second phone, there are a couple phone models that actually have two physical SIM card slots, and that could possibly work. I don't know if that would work because you can't really have the app twice on your phone. You're probably gonna need a second phone to be able to do this and a second account. And some people are like, well, that's not fair. I can't get a second account. How much is it worth to you to be able to run two phones at a time? Like to me, when I'm by myself, my goal would be $25 an hour. That's like pretty good. If I'm by myself and I can make $25 an hour, I'm doing really well. So I figure if I have two phones, usually I'm almost always at or above $30 an hour. So there's about a $6 or $7, maybe a little bit more increase when you have that second phone. Last night was obviously much better. We made 34 something an hour. Honestly, I don't think it's possible to do that with one phone. So how much is it worth to you to be able to have that second phone? If I had a buddy or something that wasn't interested in doing DoorDash, but I could convince him to let me use his phone, what would it be worth to me? Especially if you have the, on your account, if you have a referral bonus that you can send out, would it be worth renting his phone for $3 an hour or $4 an hour to be able to have the privilege of having a second phone so that you can make more money? That's something to think about. I'm not saying that's the solution. Obviously, it'd be just better if your wife or your girlfriend or your brother or something just lets you borrow his phone for a couple hours. But, time is money, and if you're borrowing someone's personal device. Anyways, guys, here we go. We're gonna get into the video. It's probably gonna be a little bit shorter tonight. I don't think my wife's gonna come out, so we'll just see how we do, and I'll throw it together real quick at the end of the night. 5:44. Finally doing this. So I gotta drop by the post office, and after I do that, I will be on my way to pick up my first order. It's like $12. But I'm flying solo, one phone. We'll see how well I can do on one phone tonight. I will be there in 3 minutes and leave it at your door. Thank you. New high score alert. New high score alert. They left me a $15 tip. Holy dooly. New high score. But at 6:13, we made $25.25. So my thoughts real quick on work area. I know a lot of people might think it's best to drive towards the wealthiest areas in whatever city you're in. And there might be some truth to that, but it really just depends on how far away you live from those areas. So I wouldn't be willing to drive more than 15 minutes to get to a delivery area. I'll gladly drive to one that touches mine if it means that I'm gonna have a higher peak pay. For most cases, it's probably just best to drive where you live. Like if you can get a dash in the area you live, it's gonna be the most profitable because at the end of the day, if you're driving 30 minutes to an area that you think is gonna be better to deliver in, that's 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back. So you're driving at least an hour for no money and using your gas. So you're actually paying money to drive an hour to get somewhere. So you're gonna need to recoup at least $30 in tips and deliveries to make it worth your while throughout the night. I don't know, to me it's just not really worth it most of the time. You might have different experiences. I'd love to hear some of your experiences on whether it's worth it for you to be willing to drive a half an hour to get somewhere. Unfortunately, unlike Uber and Lyft, there aren't any destination trips you could put on where you only receive dashes that go a certain way when you're ready to go home. So you kind of just have to either get lucky that whatever dash is going to be your last one is going towards your house, which isn't necessarily always the most profitable, or you have to go without one. And both of those scenarios kind of suck. You know, this is just my city here. Los Angeles is a completely different animal than, say, Memphis, Tennessee, or, you know, Denver. I don't know what it's like for you. I just know for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense to start anywhere but your house. I can turn it on. I don't have to leave right away. I can lay on my bed, lay on the couch until I get an order that's worth taking off for, and then I go. So I got other stuff that I need to work on anyways, you know, at the house. So there's really not a pressing need for me to leave just so I can get to an area at a certain time. All right, after 2 sweet orders to start, we are now struggling a little bit. I'm getting some really far ones, like just stupid far away. All right, we're having app issues again, where I'm getting texts saying that an order is coming through, but it doesn't show up on the app. So we've had a bit of a lull because of it. See, now it's saying that I didn't accept a dash, so it paused my dash, even though it never showed up. Oh, frick. I will be there in 6 minutes and leave it at your door as requested. I've been out for 90 minutes, made $41. Puts me right at about a $27 an hour pace. Not too bad. One of the better runs I've had to start a night. When I decide if I'm gonna take an order, first of all, it's gotta be more than $5. Unless it's an add-on, maybe I'd take it for $3.50 to $4 at the same restaurant. But I need to be getting paid about $2 a mile for my time. So if it pays $8, but 6.5 miles, that's not doing it for me. So I have to make sure that my bang for my buck is going to be worth it. I will be there in 1 minute and leave it at the door as you have asked. See that right there? You think $8, it's not too bad, but it's 8 miles. So we just can't. If we're going to make money, we can't do it. Okay, it is 10:33. We are home. We had a terrible night. Tonight was really, really bad. Everyone was being cheapskates. I had tons of app issues. Waiting in stores. Wasn't getting a second dash at stores that you normally would. Just not a great night, but I mean, what are you going to do? So it's a Tuesday. I did the best I could. We'll go inside, see how I did. All right, so you can see my earnings right here. Not as good as we've done in the past. I think I've just gotten so accustomed to having incredible nights that seeing these meager wages, I almost just want to I can't make a clickbait title out of that wage, that's for sure. For as low as it is, I didn't really work that hard. I only had 10 deliveries in almost 5 hours. That's like 2 an hour compared to I was like at 4.7 an hour yesterday. So you can just imagine how much idle time I had tonight where I was literally sitting. There were twice where I was sitting for a half an hour, like literally 30 minutes before I got one that was worthy of taking. 10 deliveries. I was out for 4 hours and 49 minutes for an hourly wage of $18.96 an hour. Not my best, especially coming off of last night where I made almost 35 an hour. That's really, really abysmal. But, you know, every night's different. I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you had a boost in subscribers yesterday. I appreciate that. If you're watching my videos, you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Guys, God bless you. Have a great night.